Hi, this is Jim Best with the Master Mappers. I call the first value proposition me and you. It's an asset map of our human capital and some of our social capital. And here's how you can get to it. We start with the personal SumApp survey that you've entered your data into. And, that came with the link in your invitation. I bookmark that link because I'm going to come back to this map over and over to learn about people in the map and to look at the assets that we have. I'm also going to come in and update my connections as they change and as they evolve. So SumApp survey collects the data and it sends it all to a link, through a link, over to the Kumu application, a separate application, and that's where the map's housed. But you also see that the link to the Kumu application is embedded in SumApp, so everything you need is right here in SumApp. If I click on the map, I now go over to the visualization offered by Kumu. That's their logo there. And the map pops up on the right side here. This panel Kumu calls the canvas, and that's where we write or paint the map. On the left side is information about things that appear in the map. Right now you're seeing information, the general overview. If I click in the white space over here, this is what I get. I can get rid of that panel just by hitting the tab key. It toggles it back and forth. I can click and drag in the white space and move the map where I want. I can control the size by clicking on the plus or minus keys there. I can also use the bracket keys to do the same thing. Let's get this big enough so we can see. Okay, so let's dig in. If I roll my cursor over an element, up pops a abbreviated set of information about that element. If I click on the element, I get everything that's put in the survey, the SumApp survey, about that element. There's quite a lot of information in here. And so I've selected that element right there. If I click on this focus key over here on the right, it focuses on just my relationships to all the other people on the map. Let me get rid of the map there, drag this in the center. If I zoom fit it, well, didn't do much, but I can make it a little bit bigger here so we can see what's going on. You'll see that I've got 3 colors of relationships. Those are shown in the legend over here. I can also select with this drop-down measure on drop-down over here. I can select any type of relationship of those 3 and just focus on those. So now I'm just looking at my collaborations with other people. And you'll notice that there's a directional arrow between myself and Osnat. And that's the information I put in about my relationship with Osnat. I said I collaborate with her, and I've entered a description about our relationship. So, there's 200 relationships marked in this map, and 100 of them actually have tags about a description about our relationship, which just makes it pretty rich. I can clear this focus, get all of the relationships back. Let me get that tab out of there. You'll notice I'm still only looking at the collaborations. If I go back into the drop down for connection types, I can select all of those relationships, and I'm kind of back to normal. There's another aspect to this. In the search column here, I can type any name or anything. There's Mary Roscoe, and it zeroes in on that element. I could also not type just a name, but also anything. And here, it looks like Gail Francis and Jim Best have some indication about fairness. When we look at Gail's, and yep, here's a hot topic that she has for fairness. You could do the same for me. So it's a way of getting to the information, the assets that we've provided here. So again, I can hit the white space and that brings back the overview for the map, uh, which may give you directions about how to navigate and so forth. And if you really get screwed up, you can go back up, hit the refresh button, and it completely brings you back to ground zero. So hope that gives you a sense about how to access that first value proposition, the assets that are embedded in the map. And we'll look at more as we continue. Thank you.